Okay, what are you saying, people? Excuse me. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the stream, like always. Again, any pairs, any charts, any trades that you're in, feel free to share. We'll take a look at it together. Leave it in the chat. We'll talk about it. If you are looking for a broker, IC Markets has got my affiliate link there. If you want to, feel free to go and check it out. You can go and do so. If you want to follow my trades as well, I do have a Telegram just for that. With a link there in the chat and also in the description. So yeah, hopefully you guys can check that out. Like always, another live stream for you. Going to talk about what's going on in the charts. Again, we did see some news yesterday, Fed interest rate decision. So again, did give you guys the heads up that we could see some some volume coming in because the markets were pretty dry this week. A lot of the pairs were moving sideways. Not really giving any big moves, maybe in the lower time frames, but looking at the hourly and 4H price was just moving sideways. So typically when you do see that before such a big announcement, you do see price kind of build up and eventually give you a push. And as you can see, your USD, basically show you exactly what I meant. Price is moving sideways for the whole week. And then finally, we get a move to the upside when the news hits and a big push to the upside, which we were expecting. We were expecting USD to see some upside. Again, it's nothing major in the grand scheme of things of the trend and where the market is. But it's it's a reaction for where price is because it's at such a strong high time frame level on the monthly time frame, which I've been pointing out on my weekly analysis. Where price is trading currently right now, as you can see. But just make that darker for you guys. Very, very key monthly level, which if it breaks, we can go a lot further. So we're always expecting to see some type of reaction here, whether big or small. And the Fed interest rates, did give us that. And we're looking at the DXY as well. We're looking for the DXY to see some downside. Again, Euro USD, DXY, pretty much the same thing, just upside down of each other. Again, we had that consolidation there, and I said looking for a push into the lows, and I said if you can get a break, then we can go further, and we've got that break. Now it's what price can do on the retest, because currently right now it is retesting the consolidation, and if we can successfully retest it, then I do expect to see price drop to the downside. And same thing like Euro USD, DXY is trading at very, very high time frame levels. The last time we were trading at here was back in 2017, big push back down, another one, and now price is back at those highs. So again, expecting some retracement for the DXY. The market is still definitely bullish on the higher time frames. Yes, momentum is still with the bulls in the higher time frames, but we are due that retracement at least before maybe price does move up higher, or maybe a reversal completely. We'll have to see. But I'm definitely interested in DXY coming down a little bit more. Certainly, if we can have that successful retest of 103, which is that support term resistance now, you can see we're throwing some wicks to the upside. So as long as we can maintain that and not break back inside the consolidation, I do think we could be in for more downside for the DXY and more downside for the dollar, which if that's the case, Euro USD, Pound USD, AID USD, all those USD pairs should be going up. USD CAD could see a bit more downside, and USD JPY I still do believe USD JPY could see some more upside. So that one's a little bit of a curveball because dollar's weak. We should expect USD JPY to go down, but it's a little bit of a different pair because it's a cross pair between the dollar and yen. But I do think we can still see some upside looking at the technical analysis behind that. But for the DXY anyway, we're testing consolidation. If we can hold, we're looking for price to come a lot lower. So take that information into other dollar pairs, euro. If we can have the retest of this, that would be nice, and expecting more upside. Pound kind of broke inside of its consolidation, so I'll wait for price to break back out. But again, same price action pretty much. Consolidation there, broke to the upside, couldn't sustain the highs, came back in. So I'll wait for price to get back above the consolidation, come back, retest it, and then next target this area here at 1.27, 200 to 400. So probably drop to the hourly 30 minute, look for entries on the retest of that. But yeah, in here is a little bit indecisive, but I would still expect, like I said, pound to see some upside if dollar can see some weakness. I'm currently in one trade right now on NZD/JPY, which I shared with you guys yesterday, which I took yesterday on the 4H time frame on this candle here. Stops around about here, just below that level of support, and looking for a move higher. It hasn't hit my target. My target is all the way up to these levels up here, so I am expecting a bigger move for NZD/JPY of around, what was that, 280, 260 pips, somewhere in that region. Yeah, so I'm expecting more upside for NZD/JPY and currently in a long position. Again, you can see the pair was consolidating pretty much throughout the whole week, and then I entered, and then I was expecting the news, the interest rates to help with the push to the upside, and fortunately for me, it was in my direction. So like I said, technicals pretty much almost always give you the direction for fundamentals, before it's happening. If you can read technicals to a good level, and it doesn't really matter what technicals you're using either, a range of technicals, fib, smart money concepts, candlesticks, price action structure, moving averages, whatever you're using, if you can understand it to a good level, you should be able to predict most cases scenario where the direction will go based on big news events like interest rates, NFP, all of that. Pretty much, not all the time of course, but most of the time you will. And if you guys are in any trades, feel free to let me know as well. Take a look at them and see what's happening, or if you're looking to get into any trades. But yeah, in NZD/JPY, which entered yesterday, still expecting a lot more upside for this one. The key thing for me is that we're back above this level of support, so I do think as long as we stay above, we can go a lot higher. I do think my target up there is looking very good, basing on the higher time frames, because I know the overall momentum for NZD/JPY is still up despite the strong move to the downside. And again, this strong bearish move I think is just trapping a lot of sellers getting into the market too early for the reversal. Because if you think about it, we've seen continuous bullish momentum ever since these lows in January, late January, and then we saw the highs there, and we haven't actually had any real retracement. Yes, we've seen some few bearish days. You can see a few odd bearish days, but we haven't actually seen consecutive bearish days with good momentum. And this is the first time. So if this is the first time after such a push, 8 times out of 10, this first move here is always going to be retracement. Again, it could be reversal, it could be wrong, but most of the time it is retracement. So I'm expecting price to go higher. Now we're back above this floor there. As long as we can hold back above that, I'm treating these moves here as fake moves. You can see very strong momentum breaking through that support, again trapping some sellers there, recovered back above, and again strong move back there, trapping a lot of sellers beneath this low, again respecting the price support, not taking it out, and now we're seeing a strong push back above. So could actually potentially look to add additional positions if we can push up a little bit more, retest that, and then push. We'll look for additional positions for that point, because then I'll probably move my stop loss to break even. And my first target is this resistance here, so then I can take some profit off and probably make it risk free. But yeah, if that can happen, I'll probably look for additional trades, because again, it's 200 and something pips there. Makes sense to take multiple trades to really take advantage of it if it is going to be a winner, of course. But yeah, we're back above that key support there, so now I am looking at price coming back into this resistance where we tested once, second time, had that false breakout, dropped to the downside, looking for the retest, which we didn't come back to do, at 86.575. So that is the plan for the trade, and so far it's looking good. Again, it's on the 4H time frame, so it will take its time, and again it's kind of consolidating again right now, but again that's a bit of a good thing because we're back above that support, so hopefully we can break out to the upside. But yeah, it's on the 4H time frame, so it will take its time. Again, it's Thursday already, so if this does play out, I'll probably still be in the trade coming into next week. but that's perfectly fine. You know, as trading as a swing trader, that was always going to be expected. But yeah, there's a few pairs I'm still looking at. I'm still looking at some AUD and NZD pairs. Certainly, if I can get this to break even, I'll look to enter some more AUD or NZD pairs, because I'm still expecting more strength for those pairs off the back of the price action and what happened recently. I'm looking at pound AUD. I do think this is going to drop further into these lows here. I was at 1.71762, so I still do see more downside for pound AUD, and I'm looking at price coming all the way back down into these lows there. Yeah, I'm just looking at the next place to sell it. We've obviously got the support here, formed our prior low. That's the prior week's low as well. Gave us that move to the upside, lower high, then dropped. So we could either do one or two things. Well, we could do multiple things, but I'm looking for one or two things. Price to come back, retest this, and then drop, or come a little bit higher, form another lower high in reference to these points. High, lower high, looking for the third one, somewhere around there maybe, and then the drop. But either which way, you know, we're looking for those sells. Hey Ross, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing well. I am doing well. Hope you're good as well. USDCHF, of course. Yasin, we'll take a look at USDCHF. Interesting on the short on Euro JPY and Euro in buy against JPY. I mean, it depends. What time frame are you trading? What time frame are you trading, Ross? Because I'm working on the 4H and the daily, looking at those high time frame frames. But yeah, that's the funny thing about Forex. You know, two people can look at the exact same charts and have two different opinions, two different biases. You know, that's why, you know, Forex is so lucrative. You know, you can have buyers and sellers going against each other, each thinking that they're right in the trade. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm still bullish on most JPY pairs, looking for them to go up, looking at what the higher time frames are doing. But yeah, USDCHF, this one we're approaching that monthly area. We can see we've had all of those wicks down the left, and I'm looking for some downside, some retracement, especially if you can see dollar take a drop as well, then that would obviously help. But obviously Swiss franc is still a little bit weak, so we do need to see some shift in that strength. But I'm mainly looking at this on the weekly, because monthly we've just got those wicks, so I can't really get too much from that from the monthly, just that way in some area where price, you know, is ranging. But from a weekly point of view, we've got this kind of range here where price has found resistance and support before it broke out and had that big drop to the downside. Now we spiked through the high of it down the weekly on this resistance level. We could see some downside. Again, I wouldn't really look too much into the left price action and use that as resistance and support. But because there's no real reference to use for this, because we've just been flying, you know, we haven't really formed much structure on the weekly or the daily. It's just been flying. 4H, there's some nice structure to work with, but even that's just been ripping to the upside as well. So I would use these as my reference points, the highs and the lows. But other than that, price is kind of just, well, it's slowing down, so that's a good sign, because you can see the pullbacks are getting more aggressive. And certainly after this extended move here, we are slowing down. I'll say as long as we don't take out this high here, I do think price can roll over. And targets, like I said yesterday for USDCHF, you want to use the 4H as your targets. That could be a nice target around 0.96, but you definitely want your first target coming into the support here, or you can have it before, but at least that support, you can look at this support here as well. But yeah, I'll say target 1, target 2, and then if you can break through that, maybe you can go a lot further. But yeah, as long as we don't take out that high, if we take out that high, then yeah, price is just still in a downtrend. But as long as we can maintain that, form a lower high somewhere, catch some shorts, target 1, target 2, and drop to the hourly or whatever time frame you look to enter, and then yeah, look for your entries then, maximize your risk to reward. But I'm still favoring price to roll over, especially if I can see the DXY reject level and drop. It's thrown some wicks to the upside, which is nice. So hopefully we can see some downside now for DXY. As long as we don't go and break back above, I'm expecting it to drop. And not USD, the Y clicked USD. USDCHF. As long as we can maintain that, I'll expect price to roll over as well. So yeah, that's my bias on USDCHF. Downside because DXY is looking bearish. I think it's time for this one to retrace. Again, big aggressive wick there, closing as a shooting star on the daily. So yeah, it is looking good for some downside. But again, do be careful because it's still a very bullish market, and we still haven't formed a lower high yet. We formed a lower low past that point, but it could just be a fake move. We still need to form that lower high to actually roll over. If not, we'll keep being bullish. But yeah, I would say downside is looking good for USDCHF. Hourly and 30-minute. Okay, can you please have a look at Euro JPY and on the 30-minute and hourly time frame, share your thoughts? No problem, Ross. No problem. Euro JPY. So yeah, like I said, I'm still bullish on the JPY pairs, mainly because of my thought process on the higher time frame. So even though I might expect maybe some downside moves on the 30-minute or the hourly, I do think they'll be short-lived because I'm looking at the daily, and daily looks to me like it's coming back here. So even the 30-minute is looking bearish, I'm still gonna have that bullish bias overall. But yeah, Euro JPY has been very it's been ranging. I mean, some of the other JPY pairs have actually broke out of that range off the back of the news yesterday, but Euro JPY, I think pound JPY as well, hasn't really managed to. But yeah, Euro JPY, this was the main area of my focus for this one, which again hasn't been clean at all as well. But I've been looking at 137 because that's the high there on the 4H. I'm looking to see if we can break and retest that and push, but it's just been very messy. Going on to the hourly and lower, yeah, that's just ridiculous price action. I mean, overall, this is just a range, really, isn't it? There's not really much more to that. But we've had some stabs lower, as you can see. We've tried to move lower on the hourly, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to push lower, but we're still not taking out these wicks here. They're still forming higher lows. So just from looking at the swing points or the lows, it's telling me that price is slowly gaining momentum to see some upside and possibly break to the upside. And the fact that we're starting to take out some of these highs now, yeah, I would expect price to roll over. It's giving me kind of like a bowl shape, not roll over, sorry, push up. Give me sort of like a bowl shape here, so I would expect some upside from that. We have pushed up here, so yeah, we could see some downside for retracement, but I think we're probably going to form another higher low to push up again. But we are coming into resistance here on the hourly, 30-minute as well, coming to resistance. So you would expect to see some downside off the back of that. But all these lows here tell me that the bigger move is probably still to the upside as well. So depends where your target is. If your target's back at kind of like the lows of the consolidation, like this general area here, that's not a bad target to have, because if we hit that, then we possibly could reverse, break through, then we could see price go a lot further. But because of those wicks forming higher lows, you're probably going to catch a move something like this, maybe a move back up into this support here, and then from there we might see a push back into these highs up here, which is where I'm expecting price to head to. So yeah, that's my thought process on Euro JPY. I'm expecting its break its current support and fill left upside. Okay, so you're looking for price to come back and fill this push here. So yeah, that makes complete sense. And at the time of this price action here, I was actually expecting price to do the exact same and fill that move back down into this support. But the way I kind of look at price, I kind of look at price as trying to do something or successfully doing something. That's poor way of describing it. But there is method to the madness. Basically, every time you have these strong moves down, the way I view it is that price is trying to go and fill that big upside move on the left. So he tried to do it once, tried to do it again, tried, because these are strong candles, strong bearish candles, and you know, the fact that we keep doing it and failing tells me that price actually does not want to go fill the rest of this gap. It's already come about halfway. If I grab fib, yeah, it's come about halfway already, almost the 0.618. So I would have been expecting price to do what you're saying, expect to go and fill this back down, but the fact that it's rejected so many times and starting to form these higher lows is telling me it's actually want to come back to this resistance, where it could come back, retest, and then go fill the candles here on the left, if it does have a good rejection. But if it obviously breaks out, we could head a lot higher. So yeah, we could see that fill on the left, but all this rejection tells me otherwise. And obviously I do have that bias in the back of my head of what the daily's doing, which is why, you know, I'm bullish on Euro JPY as well. So it does line up in that respect, but I could be wrong, of course. I could be wrong. And again, it's not about getting every trade right at the end of the day. It's not about getting every trade right. It's about having your strategy, your theory, you know, the way you approach the market. It's about having that and being consistent with that as possible. And you know, as you journey on, it's about slowly improving that as well, learning from your mistakes, journaling, and learning from that. So you know, if you do have that kind of if you do have that analysis that you're looking for this to fill, and it's approached a good area that you want to short from, then you 100% back the trade. If it fails, you know, journal that, learn from that. But it's not about getting every trade right. So if it does fail, it fails. If it works, good, your analysis worked, journal that as well. But yeah, you just see what happens and you learn from it. And again, my analysis is not going to be right all the time as well. So we'll see what happens. We could still fall. But the way the price is moving on Euro JPY on the daily, you can see we've got that high, low, high, new low. And typically speaking, when you see these strong candles like this going against the trend, I normally anticipate price to go the exact opposite way, as long as we don't, you know, create some structure. Because normally when we have a trend like this and you see such a strong move back down, and again, that's getting people excited for the sells. So they're seeing these big bearish candles here, expecting a reversal, especially after such a strong bullish trend, and just grabbing some sellers in to move price higher, you know, creating some liquidity in the market so we can continue trending. That's the way I view it anyway. USD-JPY, of course, we'll take a look at USD-JPY. Please keep your photo just below the time frame text lines. Time frame text lines. What is that? Please keep your photo just below the time frame text lines. You're talking about them up there, isn't it? Isn't it below them? I mean, I'm not going to change it now because I'm already live, but yeah, are you talking about those up there? Because I believe my photo is below that. Or are you talking about the trading view sign with that? There, you want me to put the photo below that as well? Yeah, let me know, because I don't quite understand what you said there. But yeah, I'll take a look at USD-JPY. So yeah, USD-JPY, like I said, I'm expecting some downside for this one and then some upside. I was always looking for price to come back and retest this level here, and then see some upside as well. Simple break and retest, but you can see what price has done. We've had that high up there, pull back from that low, from that lower high, respect of that high up there. But again, this is just a typical kind of bull flag retracement. So we've got the push, pull back one, second time, and then a continuation is what I'm expecting to happen. Obviously, if we don't and we start forming another lower high, then we could reverse, and then I'll be wrong in that respect. But from here, I'm expecting price to continue bullish for USD-JPY. It's a little bit tricky because we have to find out what the dollar wants to do, because if dollar's going to be weak, then it will be difficult for price to head higher. But from a technical standpoint, you know, everything is lining up for more upside for USD/JPY. See here, we're also lining up a nice trend line here. Again, just adding to the confluence, higher low, anticipating another one there, and price to climb higher. So yeah, there's a lot of factors pointing to the upside for USD/JPY, and I would look for push back to 131 if you're looking to trade this. Again, pushed up there, probably wait for another higher low or something to get involved, or maybe another retest of the support. But in terms of direction, I'm expecting upside there. Maybe if you can break back above that consolidation, that would be nice. Retest it and then go bullish. But yeah, in terms of direction, I'm expecting USD/JPY to push higher. Break below that, then I'll probably reanalyze it and see where we can go from there. Hey, welcome to the stream, guys. USD Gold, of course, we'll take a look. Hey, morning, Biggie Smalls. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Coco, can I have your thoughts on Nasdaq? No problem, but I'll take a look at USD and gold first, and then I'll move on to that one after. Okay, USD, wow, USD we did take a big dive. So USD after that strong move, you know, we're favoring price to come a little bit lower. I was originally looking for price to come into 16.25 for another push higher to come test that daily level, but it looked like price already had enough anyway. We've broken through that support, so yeah, I'm actually expecting this one to roll over a lot further. Again, we've had a very strong bullish move, very strong bullish move, but I do think we are good to drop a little bit further. We have reacted with this support here. Well, resistance turned support anyway. It was resistance now turned support. Well, I'm going to say we have reacted. We kind of missed it by a few pips there, but typically that's speaking on a weekly level. You know, you have to take it with a pinch of salt in either direction, but we are reacting with that level. So yeah, next step for USD see what price does here. If you can hold that, I'm looking for price to roll right back over, and that could present some really nice sales right back to the downside. Break above, I'll probably just hold on for a little bit because I do think we can still form that lower high somewhere. If we do break above, we might just form it a little bit higher up for that head and shoulders. But yeah, if I was looking to trade USD, that's where my focus would be. Strong supply as well, big drop to the downside, look to see what we can happen there, and then targets for 15.4 again. But yeah, we are reacting to that weekly level, which is why we've seen that a little bit of a push there, but still bearish after what we've done there. And 15.7 high, 7.5, and shorts right back down to 15.4 is what I would be favoring. Gold, we see some upside for this one. Again, we've blown past through that resistance there. And the second area I was looking at is this level, which we're actually trading slightly above. So yeah, gold is looking a little bit more bullish than I expected. Obviously, with dollar weakness, we're obviously going to see gold push up. But we're going to see what gold does now, because I'm still looking for that next lower high. And the fact is, you know, we're back into this kind of area, and if we can hold that and form some lower highs, I do think we can see some downside. But again, price action is just a little bit too bullish for my liking. So if we can put some lower highs in somewhere, or break this from lower high, I would favor some shorts back down to these areas, and then 1832, which is that daily zone that I am looking at, which we didn't quite come and test. Came pretty close, but reversed there. So I do still think we can come revisit these areas, and then 1832. Break back above this level here, then you probably got yourself a reversal, because if you form a high past that point, that means these moves were a little bit false, and then we could actually look to take this one a lot higher up. But for now, I'm still bearish on gold. I wouldn't look for entries just yet. I'd wait for price to give me a little bit more confirmation first. And yeah, some lower highs or some equal highs would be great. And then yeah, get involved in, you know, target 1, this consolidation, target 2, 1832, depending how far you want to take the trade, of course. But yeah, still bearish bias for gold. It broke the first area, second area is kind of trading alongside. So see if we can hold that, which again obviously does line up with this support here on the left. So that is the bias for gold. Still expecting downside as long as we can hold that level 1900. Break above, I'll probably start to consider the reversal. But yeah, everything is still looking bearish for me, and NAS US 100. This one again still holding resistance. It broke through the level that I was looking for price to roll over, which was coming back into here. It's still kind of trading alongside it, so I'm not going to say we've got the reversal just yet, because if I just draw it to the wick, you can see price is holding on to that. Again, I still do think we can roll over, but it just depends what price wants to do, because we are still holding on to this support. So if price does break above that resistance we're trading at right now, that's when I'll start looking for the reversal and looking for buys on the retest. And then you've got, you know, plenty of targets to aim for up there, up there, up there, depending how far you want to take the trade. But if you can break through this, then that's when I could look for the reversals. But as long as we stay below, I'm looking for price to come right back down again. You can see that momentum there on the hourly. It can form a lower high. You know, shorts would be looking good. First target here, second target there, and third target back at the low. So yeah, NAS I'm still bearish as long as we can hold, what is that, 13,520. As long as we can hold 13,520, I'm bearish on this one. Looking for entries, you can look to enter now and have your stop loss above there, or probably wait for a pullback and have a slightly better risk to reward and stop loss, and then yeah, sells back down into these levels. But break above, then that's when I'll consider the reversal, because at that point we're taking out that previous high, and that changes, you know, quite a lot of things. It means the sellers are not holding resistance anymore and the buyers are breaking through. And then also keep an eye on dollar as well, because dollar will affect the indices, of course. But from a technical standpoint, that is what I've got going on. Same thing for US 30 as well. We're back at this resistance here. You know, if we can hold this, looking for price to come straight back down. Ooh, if we can hold this, looking for price to come straight back down. And targets at these lows is what I would have. And I do have those daily targets as well. All the way down here, which I'm still expecting to go as long as we don't break through this. So yeah, I'm still looking for price to drop to the downside for this one. Again, same kind of setup as NAS, as US 100. Get a little high involved, shorts to the downside, first target, you know, the high of the consolidation, second around there, third at the lows, and depending how far you want to take the trade, of course. Hey Sonny, how are you doing? Euro USD, of course, we'll take a look at that one. Is there any difference between price action and price action pattern? Very confusing for me when it's both used. Price action and price action pattern, I think you're talking about the exact same thing here. Price action includes patterns as well. So double bottoms, break and retest, head and shoulders, breakouts, all of that is price action and it's patterns at the same time. So yeah, I think you're confusing yourself a little bit there. Price action includes the patterns of price, you know, it's the action of price, patterns of price. It's the exact same thing. Euro AUD, of course, lands, we'll get onto that. Thank you for analysis. Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. If analysis is helping you guys out, then that is perfect. That's all I want to hear. But yeah, if you guys are, remember this time, if you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to like the video. It does really help the channel out. Subscribe, join the fam, more than welcome on the stream. And yeah, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out any streams or uploads in the future. But yeah, we'll take a look at Euro USD. Where is Euro USD? So yeah, Euro USD, interesting price action. Again, pretty much the mirror image of the DXY. DXY got the consolidation, looking for the retest for price to fall. Euro USD, we've got the exact same thing going on as well. Consolidation there. Looking for the retest, which we quite haven't had yet. DXY we are retesting currently, but Euro USD we still got a little bit way to go back down before I consider that yeah, we've actually retested. And then if we can hold this on the retest, I would expect price to now move to the upside. Again, we are still trading at that monthly support, which is why I'm leaning towards the buys for Euro USD. You can see this is the monthly support. Big moves to the upside. This is the monthly time frame, and again, I don't have the watermark on. My apologies. So yeah, we've got the support here. I'm expecting some reaction, nothing crazy like that. Of course, we could do that, but it's a very, very bearish market right now. So I'm looking for a little bit of upside, and then maybe we go and break through. We'll have to find out. So yeah, I'm looking at a retest of the consolidation, and you can look for some longs here. And then again, you can just play it as it comes. We've got one target here, that level there. Second target up around here. Was that 1.0700, and then the third target all up there, that support. That's simply how I would play the long trade. Break and retest of the consolidation. First target back to the highs, second target, third. Again, some crazy upside if we do that. I doubt we'll do that by the end of the week. That's about 200 pips. 200 pips is a lot of pips for Euro USD. So yeah, I'll just play it with these targets here. If we can successfully get that break and retest. Obviously we might not, we could break back in the consolidation. If that happens, I'll probably just leave Euro USD alone, because if that's the case, then this here is a bit of a false break, which could actually mean more downside. So yeah, just wait for the break and retest, look for entries on this area here, and then you got your targets to aim for depending how far you want to take the trade. But yeah, I'm still bullish on Euro as long as we stay above 1.05700. Break below is when I'll probably fold my arms and wait for the next move. Euro AUD, got that coming up, lambs, we'll get onto that. Euro AUD, so yeah, Euro AUD I'm bearish on, looking for price to come all the way back down into these lows again. That's more long-term swing target for this one, because again, this is the 4H time frame. Probably might take a week or two depending on momentum to get here, but that's the long-term target I do have, and I'm expecting this to be the next major lower high in respect to the high all the way up there. So I'm missing my highlighter. So I'm expecting price to roll over to the downside, just up to where price can find that next lower high. Again, we do have the support here. The price is just broken through it and it's retesting right now. A little bit close because price hasn't really had too much of a chance to pull back, so that's why I'm not really a fan of this level here, because we've only had some slight retracement. I would like price to come a little bit higher, preferably into these areas here, and then roll over. That way you can actually get some decent pullback and good risk towards 0.618 into that level there. So we could roll over from here technically because it's that broken support time resistance, but if I was looking to trade this, I'll wait for price maybe to come a little bit higher into 1.47600 and then roll over from there. And then yeah, targets, you got that support there on the left to aim for, and then you got another one there on the left as well to aim for. But yeah, for me, for Euro AUD, I think we'll probably see some upside. Not really a fan of that level there. I'll mainly have my focus on this level here. Probably refine a little bit more to that support there at 1.47500. And then from there, I do think we can roll over looking for that next lower high. Got 1, 2, 3, maybe you might form there, and then a drop to the downside. But yeah, Euro AUD, I'm expecting price to come back to these lows eventually. But if you're looking for the targets in the meanwhile, these are the areas where you want to be targeting, because these are the areas where strong reactions happened. So that's a great place to look to target, where we could reverse from as well. But yeah, that's the analysis behind Euro AUD. No problem, Coco. Looking at the same thing, nice. So which pair I should look at when looking at NAS? DXY, it's the dollar index. You can look at that, but don't obviously use it too much, because some people do get a bit confused and treat the correlation with a little bit too much respect. There is a correlation there, but whatever setups you're going on the NAS, focus on that. Then obviously use the DXY, the dollar index, as confluence towards that. Is it important to look at all 28 pairs because out of 28 to 14 all look similar? No, it's not. It's not important to look at all 28 pairs, Sonny. You can look at 2 pairs if you wanted. Some people only trade 1 pair. and make their money that way. So yeah, it's basically whatever suits you. There's no one way to do things. If looking at 28 pairs is not good for you, then don't look at all 28 pairs. The reason why I do trade a wide range of pairs is because of my swing approach. It takes time for trades to fulfill. So if I was only focusing on 2 or 3 pairs, there will be periods where I don't even place a trade because my criteria isn't met. So I do jump from pair to pair, and my strategy can use from pair to pair. So I'm not really tailored to one sort of currency pair. But yeah, I always go through the pairs on the weekend and pick 4 or 5 that I'm going to focus on for the week. So even when I'm trading in the week, I'm not really looking at the other pairs unless I'm looking at the pairs for people on the stream, of course. But for my personal trading, I've always got 4 or 5 pairs that I'm focusing on for the week, because looking at all 28 pairs at the same time would just be way too stressful. And yeah, you are right. I mean, if you look at a lot of the AUD pairs, NZD pairs, they all pretty much do the exact same move at the exact same time, which is why, if you are trading a wide range of pairs, if you're looking to trade AUD/USD, AUD/JPY, AUD/CHF, AUD/CAD, it doesn't make any sense. You're taking all basically the same trade. They're all going to win or they're all going to fail at the same time. Just pick one, focus on that pair, and trade that pair. If it fails, it fails. If it wins, it wins. But yeah, there is definitely no point to be looking at all the same types of pairs, because they will do the exact same move at the exact same time, 9 times out of 10. Price action might differ slightly, but in terms of direction, it's all going to do the exact same thing, really. So yeah, just pick 4 or 5 out of the pairs you look at, and focus on them for the week. That way you can actually be more focused on those pairs rather than having your brain scattered in so many different areas, or your focus scattered. No problem, Coco. Please, Cadseat Chef, of course. Good morning, though. I am doing good. Hope you are well. Cadseat Chef. I haven't looked at Cadseat Chef this week. I don't think I have. Wow, Cadseat Chef is really going for it. So we are coming into some very strong areas eventually. This is the monthly time frame, by the way. We are coming to some strong areas where, notoriously, we've come into this level many times for multiple months since 2015. So this level here at 0.77 is a very critical level, if I've ever seen a critical level. That's probably where we're headed towards. We might wick above, we might trade a little bit above it, maybe slightly close above it as well. But 9 times out of 10, we're going to get some type of bearish reaction at this area. So that's probably where price is headed towards. Again, we've seen a lot of CHF weakness in recent weeks and days. CHF has been very weak, and pretty much all CHF pairs have been flying. So yeah, I probably expect a little bit more upside into that 0.77. Again, I'm looking at price action right now, and everything is still pointing bullish. We had this high over here on the left, back at 0.762 on the 4H time frame. We had a fake out of that level, and now we're successfully retesting that. So if you can maintain that, I do think price can push up again. It's looking bullish for this one. If you're looking for entries, maybe you can find a higher low somewhere on the retest of this consolidation. And if we can come back, retest that, you can find some nice highs there. And yeah, targets to the upside. The first target would obviously be the highs, and then that 0.77 area. If you're looking for some downside moves, looking for the reversal or some sells, then I would wait for price to probably get back below that high, because right now we are retesting the high, which tells me we're probably going to see more upside. So if you want to sell, doesn't make too much sense looking to sell at these areas. I'll probably wait for price to get back beneath that. We have 1, 2 fake outs, and then we could actually see price roll over, and you've got some nice targets to aim for there as well, on your way back down. But that's the only way I'll look to sell the pair, because I'm looking at the weekly, I'm looking at the monthly, weekly, daily, 4H, hourly, even. Everything is showing me bullish momentum, bullish structure, the trends to the upside. So sales will always be a little bit aggressive in this case scenario. Buys will always be your best bet. So yeah, I'll look for buys at this area to take it higher, and if we do break below, then yeah, you could look for some sells on the retest of that high, and then catch some sells back down into these areas. But I'd wait for that to happen. because at that point we have some bearish structure now in the 4H probably. But yeah, everything's still looking upside for me for CAD CHF. So I wouldn't entertain any sales just yet. But like I said, that monthly level looks good to be tested again. And then yeah, probably get some nice real reversals back from there. But I think just a bit more upside left for CAD CHF. I hope that analysis helped. But yeah, so yeah, the current pairs that I'm focusing on, pound AUD sells. I'm looking at pound AUD coming back down to these lows. Obviously, I'm currently in NZD/JPY right now, looking for this one to come back up to 86.575, back at these highs all the way up there, which I entered yesterday on this kind of double bottom here. Price kind of faked this low here once, twice, and now it's got back above. So I said if you can hit that first target up there, which is my first area I'm looking to target, second area up there, I'll look to take off some partials and probably go break even, and then look to see if you can get an entry on the retest of that for the next wave to the upside. But like I said, pretty much all week I'm still bullish on the JPY pairs, expecting them to go higher. Euro JPY, NZ JPY, AUD JPY, USD JPY, all those pairs I'm expecting to go higher. So again, not really focusing on all of them, just picking the best ones that look good and then trading that. But yeah, NZJPY, I'm still in some buys with this one. Took this one in 4H, taking its time. Obviously, the interest rates did help me out because price for the whole week was just moving sideways. Then I got involved here for the move to the upside. A subscriber, welcome to the family. Love to see that. But yeah, we're holding that low, so looking good to see more upside. As long as we can hold that support, get back below, it gets a little bit tricky. But I'm not trying to be too hasty and let the trade breathe and give it room to do its thing. But I'm still looking for a move to the upside. Again, bigger swing trade, 260, 270 pip target. Will take its time. Probably will be in the trade until next week if it's still playing out, of course. But yeah, NZJPY looking for a move higher on this one. Gold, of course. Gold, we'll take a look at gold. So yeah, gold, interesting stuff. We had the bigger pullback than expected, but obviously with the DXY weakness, gold was always going to move to the upside with the correlation, negative correlation. So yeah, we're back at this level here, and I'm looking to see if gold can hold this to roll over. I said if you can form that lower high, then I'll start to look for some shorts, or equal high, I'd say. And I'll start to look for some shorts on the lower high, because that will tell me that gold is starting to reverse. Because as of right now, we are still bullish here. Price is still bullish. We could still fly off. But if we can hold this, catch some shorts on that lower high, if we can get into that. If we break above this area, then gold may actually start to fly. So do watch out for that, because again, I'm still bearish on the DXY, which means I'm expecting dollar weakness, which means gold should technically move to the upside if that correlation does play out. So I wouldn't write off the buy opportunity if we can clear it above it, because we had a fake out above that high there. If we can break it again, start to hold a support, that tells me that gold's about to fly. So I'm currently bearish, reason being because we're still under that 1900 level. We have strong support, you can see on the left, strong support here, nice wicks into the zone. But if we break above it, I will probably change my bias. I think this week has been tough because of the fluctuating news. Yeah, correct. It's been very, very sideways. Again, a lot of traders have been trapped in some consolidation at the beginning of the week. Monday, Tuesday, and most of Wednesday was just consolidation for a lot of pairs. A lot of the major pairs, Euro USD, Pound USD, Pound JPY, Euro JPY, all the JPY pairs, most USD pairs as well, have been consolidating. So especially if you're on the lower time frames, 5-15 minute, you might have found it hard this week trying to catch some good moves, because everything will be reversing pretty quickly and just leaving wicks everywhere. So yeah, it's been tricky. But again, as a swing trader who trades on higher time frames, typically it hasn't been too much. I mean, not JPY, pound AUD. I had a long trade in that one which failed at the start of the week, so I was long on pound AUD which failed here. As you can see, dropped to the downside, which I'm actually starting to look for some sells now. So yeah, that one didn't work out too well, but NZJPY is looking okay. So for me, it's kind of standard because I'm not really looking at the low time frames, but definitely low time frames you probably would have found difficult. But hey, it's not going to be like that every single week as well. So, you know, hopefully that can change for next week or the later stages of this week. But yeah, we do have some pound news coming out later today. I believe at 12. Let me just go and double check quickly. But I do believe we've got some pound news interest rate decisions from the Bank of England at 12, which is right when I end the stream. But I'm going to leave the stream running a little bit. A few minutes after the news, so we can see what happens together. But yeah, we do have no, that was at 9:30. Sorry. Yeah, we do have Bank of England interest rate decision in 59 minutes, so on the next hour, 12. So it should be interesting what we see with that. Should be very interesting what we see with that. And obviously we've got NFP. We've got NFP tomorrow as well. So yeah, news after news. And again, when you see the price consolidating just before a news, nine times out of 10, you're going to see some big momentum after, like we did see yesterday. But yeah, we'll stay and watch what happens with that one. Obviously, I'm not in any pound pairs, so it shouldn't affect me too much. It shouldn't affect me too much directly. But we'll see what happens. New to trading, what is the DXY? DXY is the dollar index, so it's the dollar partnered against other currencies. I think it's like euro, pound, yen, maybe Aussie, Swiss franc. It's a bunch of pairs. I don't know the exact combination and the exact percentage. I think euro is the biggest out of them all, but it's just the dollar compared with other currencies, other big currencies of the world, and it's just the index of the dollar to show you how strong the dollar is in respect to the other currencies. So here is the DXY right here, and you can see the DXY has been trending to the upside. So obviously dollar has been stronger than a lot of other currencies, and you can see that looking at Euro USD, for example, which has been trending down. So obviously dollar has been the strongest. If you look at pound USD as well, there it is, pound USD been trending down. Obviously dollar's been very, very strong. So yeah, it's just the index of the dollar compared to other currencies, and it gives you a good insight of what you expect next from the dollar. Right now we've got some consolidation, we've broken out. If we can get that successful retest, I do think the dollar is getting prepared to drop. So we can see some more weakness for the dollar, which could help drive gold up, Euro USD, pound USD, all those other pairs to the upside as well. So please on tutorial on how to read news, on which news we have to react. Again, Sonny, hey Sammy boy, welcome to the stream, my guy. But yeah, Sonny, I don't really react to news. I react to technicals, and most of the time news follows technicals. So I'll always keep an eye on the big news and announcements like interest rates, like we saw yesterday, big movement, NFP on Friday, of course, Bank of England in a few minutes, at 12. So I'll keep an eye on the big announcements, but I'm not really looking to react to anything. The market will tell me what to do, because when you're back testing a strategy, you're looking at the price action alone. Unless you've got a window open telling you exact events that are happening back in, say for example, you're back testing back in 2019, 3rd of April, you're not going to know what fundamentals were happening that day unless you do have something open that was telling you fundamentally what's happening that day. You see a big candle like this on the 3rd of March or 3rd of April, let's say, it's a random date I plucked from my head. You just suspect that's just a bearish candle when actually that was just the Fed interest rate decision, but you would never know. So yeah, I'm always reacting to technicals, and I'm not really reacting to news. I'll keep an eye on news because if you're going to trade in the low time frames, it's definitely important to keep an eye on news because you can definitely get faked out multiple times if you're trading hourly and below, I'd say. But yeah, I'm not really looking, to change my bias because a certain value of something's come out. I'm looking what the markets give me because this is the only thing I can be consistent with in my trading technicals. A break and retest will always be a break and retest. That's not going to change. All these concepts, master them, and they'll protect you in the markets most of the time and in the long run for sure. So it doesn't matter what happens to anything. You can see big fundamental events like COVID. We saw prices fly. Russia, Ukraine, we've seen some crazy momentum over the past couple of years, and technicals have still held through that, and previously with Brexit and all that stuff as well, and you saw price falling out the sky. Obviously the pullbacks weren't really there, but price action just followed how it always done. So yeah, I'm never really reacting to news. I'm reacting to what the technicals do because of the news. So for example, we've had the news, Fed interest rates has broken us to the downside. So I'm getting a break and retest here because the interest rates have obviously broken us to the downside. So for that, I'm looking for short, I'm looking for short. And if we break back above, I'm expecting price to come back and this be a false break. But yeah, I'm never really reacting to news. I'm reacting to the technicals that happen after the news. I think that's more the answer to your question. Hey Sammy boy, welcome to the stream. Any trade opportunity for the day? Not currently, but there's a few pairs I'm watching. There's a nice break and retest happening here on the DXY for some downside movement. So taking that information into euro and pound, I'm looking at some upside for these guys here. So pound USD, I'm looking at 1.272, this area up here. This here is obviously consolidation, but we had a false break yesterday. We closed back below. So I'm waiting for price to get back above the highs of the consolidation. Come back, retest it, and then fly to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for pound USD. So I hope you can get back above and start buying it. And that'll be the target. Euro, exact same thing as well. Consolidation, waiting for the retest of that and then some upside from that. Haven't quite come into the retest yet, so I'm looking for one more rollover to the downside, and then from here buys back up. And then for Euro USD, we've got multiple targets to look for. We've got a level through here, 1.06. We got 1.07. We got 1.077. Again, these are more swing targets. You're not really looking for that in a day, but yeah, we definitely could come back into that region, possibly today, or by the end of the week, I should say. But yeah, Euro USD and pound USD buys are looking good if you can get those break and retest I'm looking for. Currently right now I'm in ends the JPY, but that's already kind of moved, so I would look to enter that one right now. Maybe if you can get that break and retest I'm looking for, I'll probably send out another signal for the buys for that one. But yeah, currently in that position for some longs back to those highs, but I wouldn't recommend jumping in now. Your stop loss will have to be pretty big to trade that one. So yeah, Euro USD buys and pound USD buys, but not quite yet. I have to be a little bit patient and wait for those opportunities to come to us. But yeah, nothing right now. And then the thing, as long as dollar can keep up this break and retest here, then I'm seeing more downside and targets for this break and retest. You can see on the daily here, we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish consecutive candles there. No structure in between. Last time we saw a bearish candle was back down here. So we potentially could even have this as our target all the way back down there into 101. We do have a wick here on the left, which was that prior high there, which gave us that. I did not mean to draw that. Which was that prior high, which gave us that crazy move to the downside. And now price is back, but that is lining up beautifully. I did not see that, but yeah, this high on the left here, back in March 2020, just take that across, you can see it lines up beautifully with the low of the consolidation. So the fact that we're back below this now, and then if we can hold this as a resistance, gives us even more reason why we can fall over to the downside. And yeah, I would have that as the target, but I'll also look at this 4H level here as well, probably for partials, or as a target as well. But that is what I'm seeing the DXY do to the downside. 101.754, then 101 pretty much on the dot, and then Euro USD expecting the exact opposite, 1, 2, 3, and then pound exact opposite as well. Probably just have one target for pound, because we do have 1.3, which is all the way up there, which we can go and hit, but yeah, it's just a bit of an ask for price to retrace that far back up. That's about 400 pips there. Don't need to take 400 pips in that one move. We've got a nice little range of about, what, 80 something? No, 140 even to the upside from that high there of the consolidation to that level there. So yeah, if you can take advantage of that, it will provide you more than enough pips for a trade. So yeah, those pairs do look good. I've also got my eye on Euro NZD. I'm expecting this one to roll over. Again, we do have this high over here, and I'm looking for Euro NZD to roll over back all the way down into these lows. Again, I do have these swing targets in the back of my head. Not planning to do this in one move. Again, I'll probably do it in 2 or 3 if it does play out. But you can see the range from the high to the low. That's 739 pips. I'm not really looking to hit 739 pips in one trade. You could do on the higher time frames, but I'm not trying to hit the home run, so to speak. I'm trying to get to the first base, second base, bit of baseball knowledge there for you guys, even though I've never watched baseball in my life. Trying to get to the first base, get safe, and then go to second base, and then third. Then by the end of the thing, you're back at home for the run. Am I the first trader to compare trading to baseball? Probably am. But yeah, if we can hold this consolidation, I do think we can drop. Price action not the best though. You can see that the way price is moving, this bullish trend. It would be nice if we were to get a breakout of that. Nice to get a breakout of that, and then catch the reversal for those shorts, and that way you can look to take those positions. But again, a bit more of a swing opportunity. It's going to take its time. Maybe not get anything today, maybe tomorrow. But the thing is, Euro NZD, Euro AUD, expecting the same thing, back to lows. Pound NZD, expecting the same thing, back to these lows here as well. And pound AUD as well, back to those lows there as well. So I'm expecting the same thing back to back really, but I do have to be careful with the pound pairs, because we do have news in about 50 minutes from now. We do have news for pound, so I'd recommend trading Euro NZD and Euro AUD rather than the pound pairs, just because we might see some wicks form or some crazy move up or down, whereas Euro should be a bit more reasonable. Hey, welcome to the stream. Let's do gold once more. Still no energy for that pair, or you don't trade gold usually? No, I don't trade gold usually. I'm only trading Forex pairs. Not only, but I do trade gold from time to time, but I don't really trade it that much. Gold, basic commodities, gold, indices, crypto, I don't really trade them much. I will dabble into them when I do see a good opportunity, but my business comes from Forex, and that's what I focus my attention on. So if I do get an opportunity on, say, pound USD, and I see an opportunity on gold, unless that gold opportunity is looking very, very good and the risk to reward is looking very, very good, I'm always going to go for pound. Not necessarily because it's the better opportunity, it's just because I know pound USD pretty well. I've traded for a long time, and it's a Forex pair, so I'm always just more comfortable with it psychologically, really. But I analyze gold, a lot, but I'm always going to be trading Forex pairs over gold. Maybe that might change in the future, But yeah, typically only really trade Forex pairs, but sometimes we'll take trades in US30, gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum sometimes. Oil, very rarely. Can't remember the last time I traded oil. But yeah, so yeah, this is the analysis I've got going for gold. I'm looking for gold to roll over unless we break through this barrier. I'm not 100% sold on this one yet, because for the DXY, if you haven't seen my analysis, I'm expecting DXY to come into these areas here. You got target 1 there, and then got target 2 there for the DXY. And if I'm correct with this move here to the downside, gold will not drop. Gold will push higher. Certainly with things still a little bit dodgy between Russia and Ukraine, we could see that commodity effect come back in for gold. Maybe another pump. I'm looking at the higher time frame for gold to get that overall bias. You can still see we've got this massive bullish run. This here could definitely be the retracement phase for another move higher. I do have that thought process in the back of my head. So I'm definitely not going to be writing off the longs. So if we do break out this consolidation to the upside and retest it, because 1900 is a very, very key psychological level. If we can't hold this level as resistance and break above it, that tells me that gold is probably going to fly. If you can break and retest that, then you got longs and you got really nice targets to aim for. You got the wick up there, you got these levels here, and then 2000 back up there as well. But yeah, for me, goes at that critical region, 1900, back at this area where I said that low high could form. Haven't got any confirmations yet. I said wait for that low high to form, and then you can look for some shorts. As of right now, I would kind of avoid trading 1900 because you might see some manipulation at that area. Wait for that low high, and then you've got some nice shorts into these areas, and then 1932. But if we just blow straight through, we'll look for the retest if we can hold 1900, and then yeah, we're going to get that bullish run to the upside. And if you're looking for the swing, should see some really healthy targets and some good risk to reward as well. But yeah, 1900 price is at that level right now, so be careful, because right now, because we're still below it, I'm still bearish. But if we can break above and retest it, then I'll turn bullish pretty quickly for gold. So yeah, I hope that analysis helped. But if I do get anything, actually, I will post it. I'll post it in Telegram. I'm not sure, because if I do get an opportunity in another currency pair, I'm always going to take that. But if I do get gold, I'll post it. I'll probably just post it in the Telegram anyway and let you guys know. But I'll probably say I might not take it because I might be trading another pair. But if there is nothing going on and gold gives me something, then yeah, sure, I will take gold. I was in bias for gold back over here to the upside. So it's not been too long since I last traded gold. But there could be a nice opportunity brewing up. Why you put camera on the side table? Because that's the only place I can put the camera. There's a wall right there, so unless the wall's hollow, there's no way I'm putting the camera on the wall. And yeah, I like the view as well, because it gives like a whole picture of the display that I'm working on, rather than just my face. So you can actually see the behind the scenes sort of, rather than just the spots on my face. So yeah, I like the angle, and there's no room on the other side. If you want to see my face is on the thumbnail, so you can look at that all you want. But yeah, currently in ends the JPY, and I'll probably be looking at some entries on Euro NZD, Euro AUD instead of pound pairs. But yeah, I'm still expecting pound JPY to push higher. I mean, it's interesting for pound JPY because all we've seen this week is consolidation. This is what we've seen this week. Where did we open? We opened for the 2nd of May, was it? 2nd of May, yeah. So we opened here, and that's all prices done this week for pound JPY, which is a very, very popular pair. So I know a lot of people would have been not too happy with the price action for pound JPY. But because we've got the news coming, and of what I'm seeing on the higher time frames, I do think a big breakout is happening, and I do think we can see a move to the upside. Your smile on the thumbnail is cute. Thank you, much appreciated. But yeah, pound JPY, I do think we can see a move to the upside for this one, and a move back into 167,500. So back into these highs up here is looking good. Obviously, I'm not really looking to trying to trade the pair. Reason being because we've got the news in about 40 minutes. So unless you're feeling a little bit brave, then go ahead. But in terms of technicals, it's pointing to the upside for pound JPY. So I've got to back the technicals. I'm not really looking to trade it because again, I'm already in a JPY pair. So I'm taking advantage of the yen weakness, which I think is still there. So there's no real need for me to jump into another JPY pair. I'll just be trading the same opportunity twice. They both fail or both work. It doesn't make sense to do that. But yeah, I'm expecting this to happen. We've tried to break the consolidation multiple times, and I think we're just going to be building up for a big slingshot to the upside, 167. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for pound JPY. Euro JPY, similar things there as well. Again, all those wicks to the downside, looking for price to fling itself to the upside. And it's looking pretty good there. Hopefully that can continue, but yeah, I'm not sure what I expect from pound off the back of the rates. I mean, they are planning to raise interest rates, so that should obviously mean a bullish pound. But if you've been in the markets long enough, that's not always as simple as it is. Sometimes you do expect for pound to react bullish. For most currencies to react bullish when you do raise rates, and sometimes you get the exact opposite happen. But normally speaking, price does eventually correct itself. I remember last time we had interest rates for pound, I believe pound USD, and we were trading here, and we were expecting to see some upside because we were expecting rates to be raised. And we did, was it this? Yeah, we did see a big push to the downside here when the news came out, and then you can see later on it did correct itself, and then eventually dollar gained its strength and took price down. But when it did come out, it wicked higher and then dropped, and then it pushed higher. So you can get something like this, which is why you don't really want to be trading these interest rate decisions unless you're already in a trade. And your stop loss is to break even or something, you don't really want to try to guess it, because that's quite a hefty, drop. If I measure from wick to wick, it's about 120 pips, and I know a lot of people don't have, 120 pips breathing room on their trades, so it's best just to wait for after. All you have to do is wait a day. You can see price action came back to retest. There's some areas here, tapped into it again, really nice entry on 1 o'clock there, well, it would have been 2, so that's prime New York session, and you've got some nice buys for the back of that, in line with the news as well. So you don't really have to trade the news, you should wait for price action after. And the same thing for what's about to happen now. We could push up, we could come back down, but we'll see what happens for it. Again, price is in that consolidation right now for pound USD, so I wouldn't try and enter anything as well. From a technical standpoint, the probability is not really in our favor. So I'll just let things be. Maybe the news can break us outside of this, and then we can get going. Who knows? Maybe we might move down. Hey King City, welcome to the stream, bro. How are you doing? I'm well. Missed my index buy. Yeah, you did it. You were calling those longs for NAS, weren't you? You were calling those longs. Yeah, but price was just very, very choppy at that time. I did say you were brave looking for the longs for this one. Price did roll over first, and then just taking out these lows here, and then from that it rallied like hell to the upside. Just big candles, big candles, big candles. So yeah, you were right for that one. Nice move to the upside. Actually went past your target as well. But yeah, you're not going to catch them all. You're not going to catch them all. But yeah, that consolidation was just nasty consolidation. So that's why I said you were brave to trade it. But yeah, I mean, at least your analysis did play out, so that is a win to take. You know, something to note down that, yeah, analysis is still playing out. But again, you're always going to catch all those trades. But yeah, it was a nice move. We did see all that happen for all the indices, big moves to the upside, obviously with the dollar weakness, and oil's pushing to the upside, which I was not expecting. But again, I think oil's a bit more fundamentally driven. So, you know, for oil, I'll definitely read what's going on with the news. Currency pairs, typically, most of the time, I'm not really bothered with the news. Things will happen, yes, and it will affect the market, obviously, but technicals normally triumph over fundamentals most of the time in the Forex market. So I'm not really too bothered with the fundamentals. It's good to know, always. It's always good to know. It will add to your game, but you know, if you're looking to solely go off fundamentals, you know, it's not going to be very, very sustainable in my opinion. But yeah, for oil, again, very fundamentally driven, not the best market to trade. But yeah, it is starting to push higher. And if we break through this ceiling here, we could go a lot higher as well. I was favouring oil to come back down into 95, but we'll see if we can hold that level. Hey Sonny, our question and analysis: price action solved by you. What solved by you? But who solved your doubt in the early days? I like the way you worded that question. Who solved my doubt? Well, me. I solved my doubt because at the end of the day, you know, it's my doubt. So the only person who can solve the doubt is yourself. You know, other people can tell you, you know, head up, keep going, keep trying, but the thoughts you have, the doubtful thoughts you have in your head will always be there no matter what anyone tells you, because it's your thought process, you know. Unless someone puts different thoughts into your head, which they can help by giving you advice, but you know, those doubtful thoughts will always still be there. And it's your job just not to pay attention to it. That's the only thing you can do. You can't stop the doubt. Doubt is always there. It's just a natural human feeling, like joy, excitement. Doubt is a natural human feeling. You know, it means you're vulnerable, which is a good thing because you're putting yourself outside your comfort zone. But yeah, the less you pay attention to the doubt and to all the negative feelings, the less they appear and the less power they have and control they have over you. Because people's big problem is, you know, everyone will have doubt. Even very, very successful at the top of their game will have doubt to some degree, but they just don't pay attention to it and they don't act out of doubt. They will act out of confidence, and that's just a choice, really. As difficult it is, it's a choice to ignore the doubt and then act off the confidence that you have within you. But yeah, once you have the doubt, it means you're doing something difficult, which is good. A subscriber, welcome mdog27. But you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going because the doubt means you're going in the right direction. And then you just need to put it to one side and keep pushing. It's like when you're going for a run. And you're getting tired, and your thoughts start saying, "Oh, you're getting tired. It's time to stop running. It's time to take a break." But you know you want to reach that 5K, or you know you want to reach that end target. So you keep pushing despite you being tired. That's what the doubt is. You keep pushing through the doubt despite you being doubtful of your success. US 30, of course, Anthony will get onto that right away. That break of structure and daily rejection lights my head up, but I pass out for 12 hours when I wake up, index gone. Wow, pass out for 12 hours, that's a big sleep. But yeah, I mean, you got to have your rest, man. You're going to catch every single move. But I mean, yeah, it did look like a good set, especially with that move. I mean, that would hurt because you would have obviously loved to be in that position, but I'm not going to catch them all. But it's good to see your analysis play out. you know, that's the victory you get when you miss a trade and it does play out. Again, it is painful, but it's good to see, okay, the analysis playing out, let's go again, let's get that opportunity again. But yeah, US 30, I'm still bearish on this one as long as we can hold 34, which is obviously broken support here, time resistance, and forming these lower highs. As long as we can hold this, I'm favoring price to drop back to the downside, and you've got some really nice targets. The only thing is, be aware, you know, the dollar index, it will obviously affect the movements of price here. If we do break back above this, that's when I'll start to turn bullish, and it's definitely if we can hold this as support. And then we've got some targets to reach up there as well. First one being 34,600 and the next one being 35,400. But as long as we stay below this, I am bearish. And for entries, I'll be waiting for a lower high to form somewhere. We've broken to the downside. If we can form a lower high, that'd be great for some shorts. And then you've got your targets down there to work with. So I'll wait for this retracement to be over and then look for some shorts on the hourly or the 30-minute or whatever time frame you're looking to enter. If for some reason we just rally to the upside, then yeah, wait for that retest and then take the opposite direction. But we're trading at that critical level where price has tapped into this once, second time, and dropped the downside. So this is where price is grabbing liquidity and moving opposite direction. Now I've tapped into it again. You know, if we successfully have that tap, we could see some downside. But if it blows straight through, then that's telling you that the sellers are weak. They're backing away and the buyers are holding firm, and if you can get that retest, I'll look for some good entries. So critical area, price is trading for US 30, which will determine if we can roll over or not, if we can see some downside or not. Confirmation, wait for that lower high and then get involved. If we just rally, you know, we're looking for the opposite direction. No problem, Anthony, happy to help. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what pound that is. Is anyone in any pound pairs? Is anyone trading any pound pairs? It'll be interesting if anybody is. I know there'll be some daredevils out there catching some nice trades on the 1 minute time frame. Good opportunity for me. I feel like the industry will recover. Yeah, it could do. I've got a feeling that it might recover, to be fair. Indices, some commodities as well. Oil's looking like it's going to recover. Gold, I think gold could recover, certainly if it breaks 1900. So it is looking like these markets are starting to turn around, because we've seen a lot of downside from them. Indices, commodities, gold, oil, we've seen some downside. Even Bitcoin, we've seen a lot of downside for Bitcoin as well, and it is looking like they could start to reverse. So, you know, I would keep that in the back of my head. I wouldn't rule anything out just yet, because we've had the first sign that we could see things change. But I'm just going to wait for the confirmation, break of these structural highs, you know, some new highs, high lows. When I start seeing that structure form, that's when we are okay. We've got the reversal. You know, let's look for the longs, the move in the opposite direction. Definitely, if the DXY can start to drop, we've got that breakout of that consolidation. You know, if we do see that move to the DXY, then we could be starting to see, you know, those markets start to push higher. So yeah, you could be right there, Kinsey. You could be right. It could be the time for these markets to start pushing up. I mean, silver's at a really, really important level here. If I go to the higher time frames, like the monthly, you can see this is a very strong support, which if we break, we've got a pretty clean gap to trade through back down into this area. So if we can hold, we can definitely start to push, break through, we'll drop. So yeah, if silver holds this, I do think we can start to rally again, and then that could drag gold back to the upside as well. We'll have to find out and see. Like I said, this could just be the correction of that big push that we had not too long ago for another push, because remember we had these highs up over here back at 2075. Was that 2075? Yes, my memory serves me well. 2075 up there, and we just missed it. We came to 2070 before we dropped. So I do think we can I do think those highs were good to go. I was expecting them to go there, but we had one more drop. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. You know, we do have this kind of bowl shape here, lower lows, lower highs, equal lows, higher lows, and we're starting to do that. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to write that out. Certainly if I can see the DXY do that drop, and certainly if we break through that 1900 level, you know, I will be looking to see where we can go next. Marked out a few areas in the 4H, you know, as targets, and then maybe long-term target all the way back up those highs. So yeah, definitely wouldn't rule that out. It is definitely a big possibility. But yeah, I'm still focused on 1900 for now, and then I'll make my mind up. And that's the same thing for Euro USD as well, and Pound USD. Those pairs can start to see some reversals. Key monthly areas where you do expect to see them, you know, start to turn around. Euro and Pound. We'll just see what happens here. Again, Pound's probably getting a little bit excited. A subscriber, a lot of subscribers this stream. Lovely to see that. Thank you, Frank. Welcome to the gang. But yeah, Pound USD, yeah, some people will definitely be stepping in now. You can see the consolidation we've got here. You know, lower time frame. People are getting involved here, knowing what's happening next with the news. You know, and all you're seeing is price going up and down, up and down. It's best just to stay away, wait for price to make its move, and then you can make a decision, more informed decision, you know, tomorrow, or maybe even later in New York. But you don't want to try and guess things. It's not a strategy. But yeah, we'll see what happens next with Pound. I'm expecting that move up. Again, break and retest is what I'll look for, probably for tomorrow. Because again, this is the 4H time frame, looking at 1.275 euro, looking for that on the retest. And then, yeah, ends the GPY still consolidating for me, I believe. Still above that level. So as long as we can stay above that level, I do think we can start to fly and see a lot more upside. 84,396 is my level that I'm looking at. As long as we stay above that. Again, that is my first TP, so I'm not really trying to micromanage the trade or anything. You know, I'm trying to micromanage the trade or anything. I'm trying to give it room to breathe, because I'm looking for the bigger swing trade, which is going to take its time. It's going to play out. It needs to retrace, it needs to consolidate, it needs to trend, all of those things and above it needs to do so. I'm not going to really try and force anything with this trade, but I will be looking for re-entries if it can maintain this level, because these are my fake outs. Fake out 1, fake out 2. You know, failed to take out those levels and see some new lows. So as long as we can get back above, I do think we can see some upside. And 86,575 is where I'm expecting this one to head to. So I'll probably still be in this trade until next week, really. To be honest, if it does play out, it's not gonna be a fast one. Hey, Mr. Bazooka, what are you saying? Welcome to the stream. Bro, I'll go like a week without much sleep, like 3 hours, and I'll have one day where I just passed out. No way. That is crazy. Yeah, I don't think I could do 3 hours sleep. That is not gonna work with me. But hey, if that suits you, you do news in 20 minutes for pound pairs. What's your outlook on that? Yeah, so pound, I'm expecting to see some upside, because again, we're supposed to be expecting, you know, interest rates to come through, and price and interest rates to get raised. So we should see a bullish pound off the back of that. But that's not always the case. It's not always as simple as that in the market. Sometimes price can be bearish when the news gets released, and then we start to see price gain strength maybe a few hours later, or even the next day, which we saw pretty much for the last interest rates for pound. So yeah, I'm expecting upside for pound, but it's nothing I'm looking to trade or anything. I've analyzed a few pound pairs. Pound JPY, I'm expecting pound JPY to break to the upside. I've got a bullish bias for this one. Overall, you've just got consolidation, so getting involved in here, it's just going to be very, very choppy. You know, you're not going to really find very good probable setups. I think the news might spike the high or spike the low, grab liquidity, and get us ready for the bigger move. So there could be some nice buys for tomorrow, or maybe New York for pound JPY. Like I said, I'm bullish on this one. You've got the high over there, higher low, got the high over there, expecting the new higher low. So I'm looking for price to return into that consolidation at 167. That is the target for pound JPY, but nothing I'm really looking to trade though. I'll wait for the news and then see what type of price action we can get after it. Then I'll base my bias off that. Pound USD as well. I'm looking at pound USD coming into 1.27500, but again, back in the consolidation. So, theoretically, I would stay away from this one, despite me expecting pound to see some upside. I do have that break and retest there, which is what I would look for. Really nice consolidation. Had the fake out yesterday. Get back above that, retest that. That could present some nice buys to get involved. But in here, it's simply just dangerous. It's dangerous. In here, up and down, wicks galore. News coming out in 20 minutes. It's always going to be dangerous trading in that. Again, in the lower time frames, a few people will be caught in these moves, anticipating move up or move down. Basically, just providing liquidity for the market. Wait for the market to give you that clear decision on where price wants to go, and then get involved. But yeah, pound USD, I'm expecting upside. Pound JPY, I'm expecting upside. Pound AUD and pound NZD, on the other hand, I'm expecting downside. So we'll see. We might see a bullish pound take us higher and then fall. So I do think Aussie and New Zealand dollar will be stronger than pound in the long term. So I do expect us to roll over back down to these lows here. But for the meantime, we might see some strength and then roll over. And pound AUD is that same thing as well. Looking for a push down to these lows. Might see some strength in the meantime and then roll over. But yeah, pound AUD for me, looking at some downside. Pound NZD, downside. Pound USD, up. Pound JPY, up. Again, I'm not trading any of those pairs. Those are just my analysis and bias. The pair I am trading is NZJPY. I'm not really trying to guess what pound's going to do. I'll see what happens, and then possibly I can find some entries later today or tomorrow, and that's when I'll step into the market, but not with 20 minutes going. Like the stream, good ideas, charts breakdown, you're welcome to share ideas, like the stream guy. Hey, much appreciated, can see the plug. But yeah guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to leave a like. It does really help the stream out. Subscribe, join the family, much appreciated if you do. But yeah, any pairs you guys are looking at, any charts, trades that you're in, feel free to share. And yeah, we can discuss and learn together. But this is the current position that I'm in right now. Price is kind of just consolidating here. So again, not trying to look too much into the micro moves of this trade. Don't want to get my feelings attached to it. That's a no-no. How about crypto, Bitcoin? Sure, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. I believe we did see some upside for the crypto market in general. Bitcoin, we did see some upside. Reason being, we're seeing some dollar weakness. We are starting to see Bitcoin start to act like a little commodity, really. With dollar, it's starting to react to dollar quite a lot, which is very, very interesting. It's not really a safe haven yet, because when Russia and Ukraine broke out, we didn't really see Bitcoin gain strength. So it's not really a safe haven like gold, but it certainly does react with dollar. But yeah, I'm still overly bearish on this one. It's kind of just building up right now, which could mean we might see a move up to come back down. Because remember, we have to get people excited, we have to get people to buy up for it to move down, and likewise the same direction, we have to get people fearful for it to come up. So there's that same thing, psychology, but in opposite directions. Right now, you just got price building up and a battle between buyers and sellers. So I wouldn't really look too much into the price action here. Again, I was favoring some shorts off the back of this level, but because of how price is moving right now, I wouldn't be too confident taking shorts at that level anymore. I'd wait for price to give me some extended move, and then I'll start to change my bias or form my bias on the back of that. But yeah, we've got really key level going through this. Not going to look too much into that, but Bitcoin overall for me is just consolidation here. It's building up for its next move, and we'll see what happens. NFP as well probably will affect Bitcoin as well. See whether Bitcoin goes for a fake move up to grab people into the buys, excited, or we're going 100k and then drop, or get people really, really fearful, we're melting, and then we could fly. So that's the kind of things I'm looking for Bitcoin, you know, above these structural highs and lows. Welcome to the stream. I didn't see your name, but welcome to the family. But yeah, we've got the highs and lows, and that's what I will be looking for Bitcoin. US 30 NAS, of course. Koku will take a look. No problem, Mr. Bazooka, happy to help. US 30 and US 100. So yeah, US 30, US 100. Again, it's a tricky one with these guys because it depends what the dollar wants to do. If the dollar does drop, we could see these start to gain some strength. But from a technical standpoint, if I just clear the chart, make it a little bit easier for you guys to read. This is the area where I'm focused on for US 30. Reason being, this is where the supply, the liquidity lies in the market for the bearish market that we've had here. We've had a very big drop, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You can see the bearish market there very, very clearly. Every time we tap into this area at 34, nice psychological level, we do see reactions from that, and you can see we're having one right now. So from this area, we potentially could roll over and see price come back down, but I'll keep an eye out on what the DXY does as well, because if we do break to the upside, I will change my bias and look to see if price can start to rally, because if we break through this level, it will tell me sellers are backing away, they're weakening, and that the buyers are gaining strength, and that we could actually see a reversal. And like I was discussing earlier with you guys, you know, there is a chance that we could start to see some indices, commodities start to reverse, dollar maybe start to reverse, and some bullish trends for these guys again. So if you do break above 34, bullish bias, stay below, bearish bias. Right now we've had consolidation in the hourly, we've dropped to the downside. I'll wait for that next low high, get involved, and then take the shorts, and then targets being number 1, number 2, number 3 down there. That's what I'll be looking at for US 30 for this one. But if we just rally straight through, then yeah, break and retest, we could fly. Because a very, very strong supply area, resistance will return strong support. We'll take a look at NAS. No problem. How's the weather today though? The weather's good. The weather's good. It's looking very, very sunny out there. Nice for some Bank of England interest rates. Perfect weather for the occasion. This is an out of topic question, but are you an introvert or extrovert? Introvert, extrovert. I don't know. Depends who I'm with. Some people I'm a bit more introvert. But then typically for my friends I'm a bit more extrovert. So yeah, depends who I'm with. I'm saying 50-50, bit of both. Nice little balance there. Where is now? Okay, so yeah, on NAS right now. I was looking for it in the chart, but it's on my screen. So yeah, for this one, we're trading at a very critical support in the higher time frames. This 12,800 level, if I go on the weekly, you probably see it a little bit better. Very, very strong area where we wicked into multiple times and gave us that last big push to the upside. So we could see some upside for this one, definitely if we reject the level. Again, it's a similar scenario to US 30. 13,500, you can see from this high, drop to the downside, tapped into again, drop to the downside. Now we're back in. Can we drop to the downside? Yes, we can. But if we break through, we'll probably see the reversal because we are trading at this strong support. If we fly through this, it will show us that the buyers are gaining control, sellers are failing to hold levels now, backing away, and we could be seeing the reversal happen. So it's the exact same opportunity. We're coming back into the same supply resistance areas. 13,500, look for that lower high, catch some shorts to the downside, first target, second and third back at 12,800. If we just rally and we don't form that lower high and we break through, especially with a full H close above, you know, that would tell me that okay, sellers are backed away, I'm looking for longs. And then, you know, up here would be your target. It's 1,400 really would be your target to take that reversal. No problem, happy to help, bro. That game you still with. Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. That was insane. I was not expecting that, man. Real Madrid were down and out, but still they found a way. Which they did it against Chelsea and PSG, so that is some crazy stuff. And now I want Real Madrid to win the Champions League final. Just because it's just fairy tale type stuff. How do you identify a fake out? To identify a fake out, you simply look at a level. You find the level in the market which you're looking at, and you wait for exaggerated moves. Fake outs are never really like they're never really like sloppy moves. Fake outs are intentional moves to get people trapped. So if you've got consolidation like so, to spot a fake out, you want to see a big move up and then big move straight back down. That's a textbook fake out. We had one on AUSD, very, very nice. It's not always going to look as nice as this one, but this is a very, very textbook fake out if I've ever seen one ever. A subscriber, welcome to the stream. So you got the consolidation here, fake to the upside, big move to the upside. It looks like we're breaking out, trend's continuing, this bullish trend here. But you can see sharp reversal and price comes straight back down to the consolidation. Here you would be looking for the retest to go long again, but we didn't. We just broke straight through. So as soon as I saw that, that's textbook false break, big move up, trapping buyers, big move right back down, and then we broke through the low of the consolidation. So not all the time we do that. Sometimes we get back inside the consolidation, we trap back inside, then we go back and retest it, and then we fall, giving us the head and shoulders, left, head, right, and then the reversal. Another subscriber. Yeah, you guys keep coming. I'd love to see that. So left, head, and then right shoulder. But in this case, we broke to the downside and retested the low of the consolidation, which is where I found that short trade. I had a couple of weeks ago on AUSD, and then the rollover. So to trade fake out, you want to wait for the fake out to happen, and then just trade the resistance that price is faked out off, or in this case the support below. But yeah, there's just sharp moves in one direction followed by a sharp move in the opposite direction of key areas, trend lines, support, resistance, supply, all the same thing. You get fake outs everywhere. What markets do you trade? What's your trading style swing? Yeah, my trading style is a bit more intra-week. It's technically swing because sometimes I will hold it for more than a week, but it's more intra-week. My typical kind of time I hold for a trade is like between two to 5 days, which is intra-week, Monday to Friday. So yeah, more intra-week trading, but yeah, I can sometimes hold them for it into the next week as well, which would give it the more swing element. But yeah, definitely would probably lean towards the swing style than intraday or day trading. And yeah, I simply just look for price action, and I work with structure, market structure, and yeah, top-down analysis. That is my forte. Gold looks good for a short. Take a look at gold. Gold, of course. Might have a look at USDCHF and AUDCHF, of course. Is that retail or smart money concept? I'm a retail trader, so yeah, retail. Interesting analysis. Thank you, Sally. Thank you. But yeah, we'll take a look at gold for you guys. We do have the news coming out in 7 minutes, so I will flick over to see what's going on. But yeah, we're trading at a key level for gold, 1900 here. This consolidation, which we faked out. Again, this is another example of a fake out. We've got the consolidation, faked out to the upside, faked to the downside of consolidation. So again, fake, and now we're retesting. So if we can hold, I do think gold can roll over. The only thing I'm not quite sure about, just a little bit hesitant on, is my analysis on the DXY. I'm expecting the DXY to drop if we can't break back above this, because we had the consolidation yesterday. We broke to the downside off the back of the news. So as long as we can stay below the consolidation, I do expect the DXY to fall and more weakness in the dollar. which means I do expect to see gold rally. So if my analysis is right on the DXY, then we should see price actually break through 1900, and then if that's the case, we'll look for the retest, and then boom, we'll look for some longs, first target, second target. Yeah, if we can hold this as resistance, then yeah, we'll look for those lower highs and get involved. Like I said here, not really trying to get involved here at 1900. Wait for price to do its thing, break the downside, give us the lower high, and then we'll get involved. Much higher probable and less riskier trade, and then trying to catch it right at the highs as it does reverse. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for gold. You know, looking out for that next lower high to form, because we're struggling to break 1900. But if something changes and DXY drops and that analysis does play out, then you know things will change for gold pretty quick, and then we'll look to carry on that trend. And we've got target 1, 1919, target 2, 1940 for gold. So that's what I'm looking at for this one. USD CHF, we've seen some crazy momentum for this one, and we're trading at this weekly zone here, which I've mapped out. Mainly because I'm using the higher time frames, because there's nothing really to work with from the lower. We've just got bullish structure, and you know, unless you're looking for buys, you know, you can't really be looking for sells just yet. But we've got the consolidation here back at the top of this level here. You can see this is where we spilled over and had all that momentum to the downside, and now we're back in that consolidation. We've had an aggressive wick through, as you can see on the weekly time frame, daily as well. Big aggressive candle, big shooting star. So I'm looking at price forming that first lower high in respect to this bullish trend, first lower high, and then seeing some downside. And I've got target 1 back up at the low here, 0.96851, and then this low here. But yeah, wait for that lower high to form, and then you can see some nice shorts. But it's always going to be a little bit aggressive. Reason being because you've got bullish momentum on the weekly, bullish momentum on the monthly, even bullish momentum on the daily, 4H. You know, everything is still quite bullish. So shorts in this market condition, always tricky. That's why I'm always waiting for the first lower high, or maybe the second lower high if I want more confirmation. But yeah, as long as we don't break through this high, I'm expecting USD to roll over. And again, if my analysis from the DXY plays out, then you know we should be expecting dollar weakness. AUD, this one very, very bullish, back at highs. Again, for this one, I'm not trying to do too much. We're back at highs. We faked lower. I was expecting price to drop lower this week, but we start to rally. We gain strength off the back of the interest rates for Aussie. So for this one, I think we're going to retrace and then break through the high. So you know, if you're looking to trade this one, I'll wait for some retracement, maybe back down to these areas, and then look for the longs, or wait for price to break above, retest, and then look for the longs. Either which way, I do think price will head higher. So break and retest of 0.706, or we drop lower, 0.69800, and then from there push higher. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, we do have about 3 minutes till the pound news comes out. I know everyone is excited from that. I'm not currently in any pound pairs, but I'll like to see what happens. Where did you learn how to trade? Myself. Originally, my dad taught me a lot of the basics, and my dad was the person who introduced me to trading. But yeah, I learned from him, and then I taught myself. But yeah, we got the pound coming out about a minute and 25 seconds. Again, this is my consolidation. I'll make it a little bit lighter so you guys can see it better. But yeah, that's the consolidation box I've got going on. So I'm not really trying to get involved in this area. Wait for price to break, and then that's my next zone. Pound JPY as well in that consolidation area. Make it a little bit lighter. And yeah, I'm favouring a push higher, but we well could fake this and then push. Either which way, as long as we don't take it this low, I'm still overall bullish for pound JPY. You can see price is getting a little bit excited there, a little bit of a jump there. Is anyone actually trading pound right now? If anyone's trading, fair play. Got some bravery. Very good analysis today. Next week will be good opportunities, especially after NFP. Yeah, you are definitely correct. We do have NFP tomorrow as well. So it's been a lot of news announcements this week and a lot of consolidation. So hasn't been the best week of trading in the low time frame. Swing trading, pretty much the same as all. It takes its time anyway. But yeah, it's been a slow week to be fair. What is a good return on investment per month in your opinion? Good return on investment is, okay, the pound news has just come out. Good return on investment would be probably anything over 5%. I'll say 10%, that's very good. 20%, that's very, very good. And anything above that, that's exceptional if you do that consistently. But because the majority of people lose in the market, any percentage a month, in my opinion, is good because you're above 90% of traders. So 5-10%, that's good. 20, very, very good. Above that, very, very, very good. Consistently, that is, because anyone can hit 20% in 1 month, but to do it back to back to back, that takes a lot. But yeah, we've just seen a push there, a bit of a wick to the upside, the price getting excited. What's pound USD doing? And a little bit of a wick to the upside there. Drop to the 15. Nothing too crazy. Let me check my FX book. Okay, so it's a little bit lower than expected. Yeah, it's pushing down there. Pushing down. Again, for me, I'm not really too invested in these type of moves. I'm just waiting for price to settle so it can do its thing. I normally give price about an hour before I do look to analyze the market again, like we saw yesterday with the interest rates. Price faked one way, and then when Powell gave his speech half an hour later, it went in the exact opposite direction. So you do see a lot of the time, sometimes news will fake out one way, come again another way, give a couple of wicks, and then it will move. So I normally give price an hour, and then I'll make my decisions on this one. But again, from a technical standpoint, I'm still overall bullish on this one. If we can get the break of the consolidation of the high, stays in the consolidation, I'm not trying to do anything really. I'll just be sitting on my hands and waiting to see what happens next. But break above, that's what I'll look for this one. Yeah, I'll take a look at Euro USD now. Just close short. I'm out for the news on GJ. Yeah, fair enough. I would be. I mean, you left it pretty close there. Hello, Alicia Triangle. Which currency are you talking about? Looking for pound CHF short. Pound CHF short. Yeah, pound CHF has been very, very tricky to trade. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at this pair, I mean, just wow. Yeah, I'm still overall short bias on this one as well because of what the higher time frames are doing. But I would wait for the news to settle before I do anything with any pound pair, pound CHF included. I'll wait for the news to settle. But even in this area, all you've got is consolidation. You know, it would be nice if price was to break out of this, retest, and then you've got some clean shorts back down to these lows. In here, you know, let the news do its thing, wait for it to settle, give it an hour, and then you can make some decisions coming to New York. But I'm not really trying to do anything in here. But yeah, I do agree, I do have that short bias. Hey, thank you, Samina, joining the family. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm currently only in SDJPY right now. It hasn't done too much. We saw the push to the upside from the Fed interest rate, so that helped me out pretty well because we were consolidating for most of the week. Now back above that support again. So swing trade is going to take its time. It's not gonna be done in a few hours, more like a few days if I'm lucky really. But I'm looking for a swing back to those highs. First target being that resistance there. And I'll probably will look for additional trades if you can get that retest, and if I can get the stop loss to break even to make it risk free, then I'll probably look for a second entry. But bias to the upside, we'll see how that one gets going. Euro USD, I said I'll look at that one. Euro USD, same analysis as pound. You've got the consolidation, you've got the breakout. All we need to find out is this a false breakout or is it the actual breakout? The only way we'll tell is if we can get a successful retest of that resistance, that consolidation area. Hold that, we'll look for the longs to the upside. The exact same thing happening with the DXY. If we can hold that, we can drop to the downside. And same thing for Euro. If we can hold that, we can fly. So that's what I'm looking at for Euro. Just waiting for the retest, and then I'll make my mind up. But yeah, guys, that is coming to the end of the stream. 10 to 12. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is my stream time, because I do realize we have a lot of new viewers today. 71 people viewing the stream. Never had that before, so welcome. But yeah, I do stream every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, same time, 10 a.m. to 12 every week. So I hope I can see you guys next week. I will be posting some analysis on the weekend, recapping this week and forecasting the next. But yeah, pound JPY is dropping. I'm going to see if we can break out the consolidation, because that's really what I'm looking for. If we can break out this consolidation, then yeah, we can fall a lot further into these lows, into 160. And the thing is, don't get too involved in each move, because even though we are looking quite bearish, the all important thing is, can we break the support? Because if we don't, it doesn't matter if we have a strong bearish candle. We can see an equally bullish candle coming up next and a move to the upside. So the key thing you want to be looking out for pound JPY is this support is broken. If it is, you could get some nice shorts for later today / tomorrow. Back down to these areas. Again, don't have to target all the way those lows, but there's multiple areas you can look to target there on the left. If we break for the support, if not, we might see another swing to the upside. So keep an eye out on that. Was that 162? Keep an eye on that, and I'll tell you where price is going. A new subscriber, Anderson, welcome to the stream, my man. But yeah, currently in NZJPY, so we'll see what gets going on with this one. If I do get anything, I do have a Telegram. Where I share my trades. Link in the description, and also if you scroll to the top of the chat, which might be a little bit far, so yeah, I do have a link in the description for my Telegram. I post my trades, and if I do get anything, I'll share that in there with you guys. In Euro USD sell, fair play. If you're in Euro USD sell, watch out for this level here, because that could bounce and take away your profits at 1.05700. So keep an eye at that level. I don't know if that's your target or anything. If that is your target, cool. If not, I'd probably think about some partials at that area. But yeah, the momentum is definitely behind you, so looking good. Just watch out for that level. No problem, Richard. No problem. Yeah, you too, guys. Have a great trading week. I know it's pretty much almost over, but have a great trading week. You still do have NFP, so still will be some activity coming up later this week. But do stay safe. Don't go and blow any accounts. We don't want any of that. Like always, I'll keep you updated in the Telegram, so feel free to go and join that. But yeah, I do have a few setups I'm looking at. We'll see what happens. Pound AUD is dropping. I wanted to sell that guy, but I wanted him to come a little bit higher first. We'll see if maybe it does, but still a few pairs I've got my eyes on. But yeah, NZJPY taking its time. So yeah, we'll be live again next week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Hope I do see all of you there. I'll be posting a video on the weekend, recapping the week and forecasting the next. But take care, guys. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all next week. out.